What's up guys? Today we're going to be doing a video comparing AR-10s to AR-15s. I'm really excited about this video, so let's get right into it. Alright guys, so like I said before the video starts, we are going to be comparing an AR-10 to an AR-15, and I'm going to be going over some pros and cons of each of them, what you can expect from each of these different rifles, and hopefully help you decide better when you are gun shopping in the future. Alright, so first I would like to talk about the AR-15. Okay, so AR-15s are generally smaller caliber rifles like 223s, 224 Valkyrie, 6.5 Grendel, 6.8 SPC, smaller caliber rounds like that. Alright, they generally aren't very heavy or bulky guns, even though, I mean, you can make them heavier or bulkier, but in general they're not too big of weapons. Alright, generally they're better for self-defense, small game hunting like coyotes or whitetail, even though you can't hunt whitetail with the 5.56, which is basically the most common round for an AR-15. They are really good for like coyotes, like I said before, pigs, stuff like that, varmints really, like groundhogs, just stuff like that. But once you get up into the larger calibers like 6.5 Grendel or 6.8 SPC, they do become really good medium game hunting rifles. So I have a 6.5 Grendel. I use it for everything, or everything here in Southwest Virginia that I can use it. I use it for pigs, coyote, whitetails, stuff like that, and it's just all around a great rifle. Alright, so really that's basically the AR-15 in a nutshell. Alright, so now we move to the AR-10, and the AR-10 is a lot more bulky than the AR-15. Generally they weigh a lot more just because of how the receivers and upper receivers are milled. They're a lot bulkier, they're bigger, they're thicker, and the reason that they're bigger and thicker is because of the rounds you can shoot through these things. So this here is a 308, and it is a Diamondback. My AR-15 was a Palmetto State 5.56, and like I said, 308. AR-10s can hold a bunch of different bullets, 6.5 Creedmoor, 243, just to name a few off the top of my head, and you can even get some chambered in some massive rounds like 300 Win Mag. But I'm not sure if that's still in the AR-10 platform or something incredibly special because of the size. Alright, so these are ideal for your larger to medium game. I wouldn't take this coyote hunting or something small like that. I wouldn't shoot a fox with a 308. But I would take a whitetail deer hunting, or maybe elk hunting, or pig hunting, because there's a wide variety of good calibers for pig hunting. So the AR-15 and the AR-10 are really both good for pig hunting, but the 308 is ideal because of the heavy knockdown power. Alright, some of the cons I've found with the 308 versus the AR-15 is weight. Weight's a big deal, especially when you get to bigger guns. So these are both 16-inch and they weigh pretty much the same, probably differ about a pound or a pound and a half, but usually the AR-10s come with an 18-inch barrel. This one has a 16-inch, and it's a little bit more manageable, and generally the smaller the barrel, the less accurate you will get, or the less accuracy you will get out of your rifle. So for the most part, AR-10s will have a longer barrel and thus weigh more and just be more bulkier in general. It's a lot harder to swing this thing around because of the weight compared to the AR-15. And these aren't really, I guess, broad comparisons, because there's a bunch of different configurations you can do on all these rifles. You can have 308 pistols, even though I'm not a real big fan of the 308 pistol, and you can have some pretty big bulky AR-15s, and they can weigh just as much and be just as bulky and cumbersome as the 308s can. So now that we have went into a good overview of both these rifles, let's talk about some of the things that are compatible between the two rifles. So the AR-15 has been adopted by the military and has been used by the military forever. So there's tons of parts you can get for the AR-15, and for the most part, an AR-15, you don't have to worry about what fits what. So like this one, if I go out and buy a standard anything, it'll fit. If I buy a trigger assembly, it'll fit. If I buy a grip, it'll fit. If I buy a rail for an AR-15, it'll fit. Pretty much everything on this AR-15 can fit on another AR-15. And that's because it's standardized. There's a standard pattern and everything works. Alright? Now, the AR-10 is a little different. So a bunch of different companies have made AR-10s, and the military hasn't really standardized the AR-15 or the AR-10 like they did the AR-15. So a lot of fitment issues come in with the AR-10. For example, the lowers. Not all uppers can fit on all lowers like the AR-15 can. So like this Diamondback right here, I believe it's a DPMS cut, but for example, a Palmetto State Armory upper is not going to fit on this Diamondback lower. And that's because Palmetto State has their own upper and lower mold, and Diamondback has their own upper and lower mold. Now, that's not saying that only Diamondbacks work with Diamondback uppers. That's not the case. Some companies do use the same pattern, so other companies do use a DPMS pattern and allow other receivers to go on their lowers. And I'm not 100% sure this is a DPMS pattern, but I'm almost certain, so don't quote me on that. Alright, it has to do with this piece right here, where the upper goes into the lower down here at the back. And I'm not 100% familiar with what those different cuts are. I know there's a DPMS and maybe an LR. I'm not quite sure what the LR is, but not 100% on that. But they do make different cuts, alright? So that's one of the big things, and one of the reasons I prefer the AR-15. Like I said before, I have a 6.5 Grendel and I love the thing. Ammo is just as easy to find as a 308, or at least it is around here. I can buy cheap Wolf ammo for like $5. Same thing with the 308. You can buy cheaper Wolf or Tula ammo for like $7, $8. And then my hunting rounds are about $20 a box, just like with the 308. So I tend to lean towards the AR-15 because of weight, because of compatibility, because it's just like the 308, but so much more stuff works on it. And the 308 is just a bulky creature. But I think they each have their purpose. Like I said, the 308s and the AR-10s are really good for the larger game and really having some knockdown power. And they're really good to shoot out to really long ranges. So the AR-15 platform, at least the 5.56, and they've started to introduce a lot more calibers into the AR-15 that can really reach out there and touch them, like the 224 Valkyrie. That thing will fly, but not like the 308. So the 224 Valkyrie will shoot a really long range, but it won't do damage like the 308 will at a really long range. So that's something to think about. What are you buying this gun for? Are you buying this gun for shooting long distances, or are you buying this gun for hunting long distances, right? That's one thing to consider. Alright, so I think that about does it for the video, and I hope you guys have learned something, and I hope it's been beneficial. Like I said before, I really lean towards the AR-15 because of compatibility, lightweight, and just the overall ease of everything. It's so much easier to work with, work on. You don't have to memorize as much stuff, and I just think it's simpler that way. But that about does it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope it was helpful. Please go hit that subscribe button. It would mean a lot. And as always, take someone outdoors. I'll see y'all next time.